All right, guys, on another episode of What the Hell Your President is Doing, let's talk about how Trump is reportedly eyeing 26 million in funding cuts for the US national parks. Me being an avid hiker and traveler, I'm strongly against this. Let's get into this. So the New York Times has said that the Trump administration is reportedly eyeing dozens of grants across the National Park Service for termination. According to reporting from the New York Times, one of the several moves is destabilizing the U.S. investment in public lands. According to the newspaper, staff members at Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency have created a spreadsheet of federal grants earmarked for cuts, with totaling funding cuts amounting to sum of $26 million. The proposed elimination follow a familiar pattern of the Trump administration, which reasons given for program cuts, including climate change, sustainability, DEI, and LGBTQ programs listed for potential elimination include scientists in parks, which is extremely dangerous because they test the water, they do land studies, all of that. They pay attention to the ecosystem, any viruses, anything like that, that potentially trickles down to common people. This is crazy. Which places undergraduate and graduate students, as well as early career scientists across the country in natural resource management focused positions. The focus on DEI, LGBTQ issues, and climate change matches cuts DOGE has made across the federal government, and specifically at the Department of the Interior, which houses the National Park Service. The Interior Department and the NPS were heavily hit by DOGE early rounds of layoffs. Along with the U.S. Forestry Service, which manages nearly 200 million acres of public land. Since then, the administration has continued to slash at the NPS's workings. Earlier this spring, the department closed the National Park Service Academy, which was a partnership designed to bring Americans from underrepresented backgrounds into the Park Service and make a more diverse set of Americans feel comfortable working in and exploring outdoors. Now, me being a person of color, and most of the time I do solo hike, and I am well trained for the most part hiking and doing solo hiking. I've been hiking since I was 8 years old. Went through summer camps and went through camps with rangers, my family. Shout out to them. They found programs that will educate me on wildlife, how to, be safe and navigate in, natural selection forest and things like that. So, the program, I really I take that kind of personal because, again, I am a solo hiker and I'm a person of color and I'm a woman of color. Let me just say, most of the time when I go to national parks, I don't really see African Americans out on hikes. I don't really see other minorities either. I primarily see white people hiking. Not to say, that it's an issue or anything, because for the most part, they are very much friendly. But I typically only see people of color on trails or hikes when it is a very well known national park. But when it's like just typical like trails and stuff and like the different state parks, I don't really see people of color. So I take offense to this. I think this is something that is needed because, again, I'm out there in the forest. I post about, my excursions when I do them and things like that. So I'm very, very disappointed in what the administration has done. Not only just slashing this program, but just slashing all these different grants and all these different programs, because nature is needed. Without nature, we cannot sustain ourselves. And it is a beautiful thing when people are able to go out in nature and to enjoy it. And they actually have some protection. The rangers do so many different things to ensure the safety of the individuals, the wildlife, the plant life there, the water supply system, etc., and other things. So I don't know. I just think this is disappointing. There's just certain things I just feel like should never get cuts. If anything, they should get allowed it more money to ensure the success of their programs and expansion of their programs, and to sustain, Mother Nature. If we're being honest, if you mistreat Mother Nature time and time again, she has showed us as human beings she will destroy us. So, I mean, I don't understand why this administration doesn't see that, the importance of that. So anyway, since then, the administration has continued to slash at the NPS's workings. Earlier this spring, the department closed the National Park Service Academy, which was a partnership designed to bring Americans from underrepresented backgrounds into the Park Service. So earlier this week, the Washington Post reported that the administration has suspended air quality monitoring programs at national parks across the country, issuing stop work orders to 2 companies providing the monitoring. Some Park Services staffers have requested that the stop work orders are rescinded. Yes, they need to be rescinded. And more cuts appear to be on the horizon. According to the National Parks Conservation Association, the full cost of proposed cuts could bring a 75% reduction to NPS services in order to meet the goal of an over $1 billion funding reduction. That is absurd. Critics have said that the cuts to the NPS, Department of the Interior, and U.S. Forestry Service not only risk the preservation of Americans' national parks, but could put land management and fire reduction in jeopardy as well. They also have the potential to hit rural and often conservative parts of the country economically the hardest. National parks in particular can be an economic engine, generating over $55.6 billion in economic input, according to the National Park Service. Resistance within the National Park Service to the Trump administration plans have been spirited, with over 300 billboards erected across the country protesting cuts, and the protesters rallying in support of parks across the country in recent months. So there is something being done, but I mean, with him controlling the purse, since he took it from Congress, bullied it from Congress, basically, there's really not that much we could do but talk about it, right? Information, and advocate for these national parks, which my personal opinion, and this is not being biased, but national parks can generate a lot of money. There is a lot of stuff that they could do more than what they already were existing doing to attract more people. So my thing is, if it has actual economic benefit, why are you cutting the necessities for it to maintain the services that it already has? That doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Oh God, this administration, God bless us.